Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimler, and I am coming at you with your November 2022 insights and astro forecast for this month. I don't know about you, this year has been flying by. It's already November. We've got 2 months left in the year. It blows my mind because I remember it being January, and it's not anymore, obviously. Anyways, we have a lot going on. October, the end of October, we had a ton going on. We had a partial solar eclipse, which always brings change and transformation. It was very powerful one, especially for those of you that have stuff in the sidereal system in the signs of Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. So those are going to be the signs impacted most. That doesn't mean the rest of us aren't going to feel some change and transformation, but anytime you get personal planets involved in these eclipses, that's what's going to change. The other thing that happened, Mars went retrograde on October 30th, so just a couple days ago. And this is huge. Mars retrograde, it only happens about every 2 years. So when it happens, it really packs a punch. Mars is one of the ones that goes retrograde the least. And it's really, really critical that with this retrograde, to understand between now, October 30th, when it went retrograde, and January 12th, 2023, when it goes direct, it's really going to pack a punch. So because I use the sidereal system of astrology, I do Eastern astrology, but I use sidereal, which can go Eastern or Western. Sidereal, Mars started in Gemini at 1 degree Gemini. It's going to retrograde back into Taurus on November 13th, and it will spend the rest of its time in Taurus. Now, it's already been in Taurus for a brief period from about end of August up through middle of October. So you've already experienced some of what Mars in Gemini is going to mean for you, or in Taurus is going to mean for you, but really, really pay attention, because this is the area of your life that Mars is asking us to look back on. Anytime retrogrades happen, no matter what the planet, it's asking us to review, it's asking us to reflect, it's asking us to reassess. So the fact that we just came out of a lot of eclipses, Saturn's finally direct the end of October. We had, at one point this summer, we had 6 planets, retrograde. We still have a few more. Jupiter's not going to go direct until November 23rd. But this Mars retrograde, what I really want you to focus on is the fact that people may be more passive aggressive. People may be more quick to anger. They may be more hot-headed. Really, I'm asking you to take the time, go grab your patience pants out of your closet and put them on. I will literally give you time right now. Run and go grab it. Pause the video, run and go grab your patience pants and put them on, because the next 2 months between now and January 12th, 2023, when Mars goes direct, you're really going to need your patience pants. It's going to be better for everyone involved. Just go ahead, get comfortable, and I promise you will thank me later for this. So pause and go do that. Now, the other thing that we really need to be aware of with Mars retrograde, as I mentioned, people can be more quick to anger. This is going to be especially true when driving. So be extra cautious while driving, as people can be more accident prone, and there can be, road rage can be at an all-time high. So I don't know about where you live. I know in my area, I have seen it. I see people weaving in and out of out of traffic on the highways, and they're going 75, 80 miles an hour in a 55, I might add. So just know patience is the key. Take your time getting places. I mean, don't go under speed limit, but take your time getting places. Be very aware. If you're tired, I wouldn't recommend driving or letting somebody, just be patient and be cautious. Mars retrograde, it's really, really a time where you personally may find yourself more irritable times. You may find yourself more frustrated, a little more impatient yourself, whether it's with your spouse or your significant other or your kids or your family or coworkers. Just recognize patience. Don't jump through, think through things, think through situations, really take the time. I think one of the other things we're going to see with Mars retrograde, because we did see this with the last Mars retrograde as well, is I think we're going to see real estate really slow down even more, because Mars is the indicator of real estate. So when it goes retrograde, retrogrades slow us down. They make us rethink. They make us take more time. So I think real estate's going to really slow down over the next 2 months. I think it's going to be a time of crazy weather. I think we're going to see the markets really fluctuating. I think we're going to see issues with communication. I think there could be potential for such things as electrical blackouts. So really just, again, this is impacting a lot of our lives. And obviously based on your ascendant or moon sign, which we'll get into, will be where you need to focus. And I've really done this month of where you need to focus over this Mars retrograde period and Mars being in Taurus for the next basically 4.5 months. So it doesn't leave Taurus until March of 2023. So you've got time. Really get comfortable with Mars and Taurus, because starting November 13th through March of 2023, March 13th of 2023, it's going to be a time to just focus on that area. So pay attention when I get down below to the specific signs, whether it's your moon sign or your ascendant, or as I like to say, look at both. It'll give you more of a sense. This Mars retrograde is really going to impact all of us. Kind of just, if you see issues, get them fixed, especially electrical or anything related to that, whether it's in your car, your house, whatever, just don't delay in getting them fixed. If your check engine light comes on, don't procrastinate. So I think the other thing is this Mars retrograde is happening over in the US elections. So I think that's going to make the elections wonky. I think it could bring out some of the worst in people in terms of anger and frustration. So just use patience and just know the elections could be a little this. So Mars retrograde, really, so that's what could potentially be coming for you. I really want you to focus on reflecting on your actions. Really take the phrase, think before you speak or act, to heart. I can't emphasize this enough. It's going to be your saving grace during this time. So take the time to listen to others from a place of non-judgment and really just think through what you're saying and think through your actions and recognize that if you say something that you later regret, it's going to be harder to take it back. So just really don't rush into things. If you feel yourself getting heated, please excuse yourself from the situation or say that you need to think about it and you'll get back to them later. Really great time to finish projects and get them over the finish line, but do not start any projects during this retrograde. So just don't start any new projects. If you have some that are already in the works, that's great. Keep working on them. Get ready to get them out once Mars goes direct. Couple other things going on we got more than a couple other things going on this month. We've got a lot of going on this month. As with any month, the planets are always moving and things are always going on. But Venus is going to be transiting into Scorpio on November 11th. This could be a time where people want love, but they also still want their independence. So we're going to see this a little bit because it's going to give more power to that Mars retrograde, since Mars will be in Venus's sign and Venus will be in Mars' sign of rulership. So these are really going to empower these two planets, especially while Venus is in Scorpio over the next month. So November 11th through December 5th is when Venus is in Scorpio. So just recognize these two planets are basically acting as if they're in their own signs. November 13th, Mercury is going to also join Venus in Scorpio, and this can be a time where you find yourself digging deeper into topics of interest. People can make decisions more rapidly, but remember, think through. So this may not be beneficial during Mars retrograde. Mercury is going to stay in Scorpio until December 2nd. So, just know people need to watch what they say. Anytime Mars and Mercury are related, communication can get a little feistier, a little more aggressive. And I would say that's even more true with this Mars retrograde and Mercury putting more, you're going to have Mercury going, what's called dispositing. So it's going to Mars, Venus is going to Mars is going back to Venus. So it's a whole, don't worry about that. I know I just lost you a minute, but just know there's a lot of energy getting pointed towards Mars, and Mars, while it's very ambitious and very courageous, it can be very aggressive, very hot-headed at times. The next thing, as always, the sun stays in a sign about a month. This is how you get your sun sign. But November 16th until December 15th, the sun is going to be transiting in Scorpio. So again, that's 3 planets in Scorpio. Now, Sun and Mercury are always really close to each other. So Venus isn't usually too far away either. So it's not shocking these 3 are in the same sign right now, but it can make people feel with the sun in Scorpio more competitive, more passionate, more spirited, just this greater feeling of needing to control really certain areas of their life. And if you fall under that, it could be a little aggressive at times. Mars retrograde on November 19th is going to square Neptune for the second of 3 times. So the first time it squared Neptune was October 12th. The third time is going to be March 14th, 2023. And as I said, November 19th, Mars is a date to watch, as Mars is going to square Neptune. So really, squares always bring change. This square could bring potential weather, whether it's hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes. I know we've seen some really bad hurricanes. We've heard about some really bad earthquakes around that October 12th period. I think the thing to really remember is change is not something to fear, but it's something to embrace and learn how to go with the flow of. So embrace it. The more you embrace change, the easier it's going to be. So keep that in mind. There is one that's going to be very exciting. Jupiter is going to be turning direct after 4 months retrograde. So Jupiter turns direct November 23rd. This can make marketing and expansion more successful than it has been the last 4 months. So if you feel like you've been beating your head against the wall, you are almost going to be past those delays and obstructions when it comes to marketing. It is important to remember, though, again, remember, Mars is retrograde. So there are still retrograde planets, but Jupiter moving direct, Saturn's now moving direct. That's really going to help lift some weight off the shoulders. One thing I want to say is if you don't already, you should sign up for my newsletter below. You should also like and follow this channel because I do a bunch of different stuff, but the newsletter gives a lot more information. I really try to give information to my subscribers in my newsletter. I don't spam you. I do once a month unless something really important comes out, whether it's Saturn changing signs or like Jupiter changing signs or something I think my subscribers should be aware of, but it's a free newsletter. Sign up below. And you'll get even more detailed than you get in this video. And always it makes getting your sign predictions easier because if you like to read them, you can go read them. And I do think where these sign predictions this month are, for the next 4.5 months, really with, I'll still do them over the next few months, but it'll be different influences on top of this. But this is the one that what I say this month for each sign, you're going to have to watch the next 4.5 months. So know that, understand that, print them out. If you got my newsletter, you can go print them out. If you don't, go sign up for my newsletter and go check out my website, elizabethymiller.com, where you can sign up for my newsletter. But I did put a link to sign up below as well. With that being said, on the sign, insights, astro forecast, look at your rising sign or ascendant or your moon. So both of those give insight. If you look at your sun, it can give insight as well. But looking at all three will really give you kind of a flavor of where to watch, especially your rising sign, ascendant, they're interchangeable, and your moon. So what I'm saying below, it's a general sense of what you can expect, over the next 4.5 months. That being said, it's really important to talk to a professional astrologer to see what to expect and what's going to be unique to you and your chart and how this is really interacting with your personal planets, which is going to really give more to your life. So if you're interested, I put the link to sign up below for a consultation. So if you're interested, go do that because there's no time like the present to understand how this impacts your chart uniquely to you. Again, we all have unique paths. Our paths overlap with other people and that can create events, but we are each unique in our charts. Now, granted, if somebody's born same day, same time, same year, same location as you, they're going to have a pretty much same life path. Just you may or may not know them. So keep that in mind. With that being said, let's get to the good stuff. So Aries, over the next 4.5 months, it's going to be important that you really pay attention to your speech. This is a time when you can be much more direct, and this can be good, or it could be perceived as more aggressive. So you're going to have to really approach things differently. Think through what you say. The approach you need to take will depend on the situation you're in. So really know you're going to have to do a lot of analyzation on this. It can be really a great time to throw yourself into learning new material that needs to be learned quickly. This can include, learning speed reading to help you cover more content quickly. It's really a time to stay away from or be cautious of get rich quick schemes because you will not be the beneficiary of them. Somebody will get rich, but it will not be you. Also, the thing to really watch is be sure to maintain really good habits, as bad habits could kind of come up during this period. Once you get under more stress, that's when the habits can really start to surface and take over. And then it's going to be harder to re-break them and get back into good habits. So just maintain those good habits. It is a time to watch your teeth and gums. So if you haven't been to the dentist recently, I recommend getting a checkup scheduled, or make sure you're doing exceptional care, home care as appropriate. Taurus, for you over the next 4.5 months, you can find yourself more motivated to accomplish all those things on your to-do list. Really take advantage of this energy, as it's going to be a few years before this influence comes back again. And when it does, it will only be short-lived. So Again, take advantage of all this extra energy you're going to have. You're going to have this ability to really accomplish things quickly. But here's the but. This also comes with the need to be more cautious, as it can make you more accident prone. So the more you quit, you're moving quickly, you're getting going, you could run into a door frame with your toe. So wear shoes, or you could, trip. So just really be cautious. Pace yourself, get stuff done, but pace yourself over the next few months and schedule downtime to really recoup and reset. This is a period to avoid arguments. So please don't get into arguments over the next 4.5 months. And I know it's going to be hard because, again, a lot of energy is pointing towards it making it easier to get into arguments. So try not to. If you do find your temper kicking in, it can be really wise to step away and continue the conversation at a later time. Gemini, you are entering a 4.5 month period where you can become very focused on saving the world as you define that through your lens. It can be a really good time to focus on your spiritual practice, and this can include meditation. If you don't meditate, great time to start, because it'll help get you out of the insane world that we're going through with this period of transformation. But if you don't have, a meditation practice yet, or a spiritual practice yet, I strongly recommend beginning now and making it a habit. It can be a really good time to get ahead on any credit card debt, and really make sure to stick to your budget. If you haven't checked in on your budget, go check in on your budget and then stick to it. It'll be great. You'll thank me later, especially as we head into, we're in holiday season with everything. It's really, for you, Gemini, it's going to be key to keep your emotions under control. Don't let them take over your interactions, which could lead to, long-term negative effects. And make sure your health is a focus and you keep it top of mind. So eat healthy, ensure you're getting exercise, and really give yourself grace during this time. Cancer, really hang on to your hats, because you're headed into a 4.5 month period where you should find your cash flow increasing. You can find opportunities presenting themselves to you. Really don't let these pass you by and miss out on them by thinking they'll come about again. It is a good time to get out with your friends, socialize. While out and about, you could find yourself making new friends. But on the flip side, this is not a time to be loaning money to your friends or family. It's likely going to be a gift rather than a loan. So just know you're not going to see it again. If you do hear about a quick way to earn money, think it through, especially if it sounds too good to be true, as the only person that will earn money is the person running that scheme. So this isn't a time to go on spending sprees. Really plan ahead, budget, and stick to that budget. Within that budget, include money for unexpected expenses so that you're not taken by surprise as well. Leo, you are entering a 4.5 month period that can be very good for promoting yourself and focusing on your career. It can be potentially a good time for you to ask for a raise or promotion you've been eyeing. However, here's my but. Be sure to read the room, the company situation, and the requirements before going full speed on any requests. If you get wind that the company's in trouble or, not going to do as well this year, don't go ask for a promotion. That's not the time. Just saying. So read the room, really analyze the company, and see if it's the right time. But if you do all that assessment and you think it is, then go ahead. This is a time to take action, really spend time thinking about what you want as the next move in your career. And if you need that change, go ahead and plan for that, because there's no time better than right now with this Mars transit in Taurus for you. So do things that are going to make you look good at work, but don't be reckless and rash in your approach. So really think them through, and really don't take undue risk when it comes to the government. So this includes not taking risks on your taxes as we head into tax season at the start of the year. Virgos, you should be feeling luckier and more inspired over the next 4.5 months. Long distance travel can be good for you. Be sure to check with your personal astrologer for your unique chart, because again, all different charts can be different things, but it can be a really good time to focus on your spiritual practice. It can be a great period to put effort into growing your knowledge. It can be a time where let me rephrase that. This is not a time to take shortcuts, as they're not going to help you in the long run. So put in the effort, do things right the first time, even if it takes you longer. And you could find that over the next 4.5 months, you end up in arguments or disputes with your father, boss, or guru. So don't start any fights or arguments. Step back, cool down, and just give it time through the spring before jumping into anything. Libra, you are headed into a 4.5 month period where you can find money or support coming more quickly and easily to you. You may find a topic of interest has you digging deeper and researching to learn more about it. This is really a time where acupuncture and massage can be beneficial for you and your health. If you haven't tried them before, now is the time. Go try them. I highly recommend both of them. I do both of them. And they make a huge difference when you do them. They just help align your body, align your energy. So really, I can't recommend them enough. Even if you're not a Libra, always good to do them. You may find for you, Libra, that worries are creeping in and you could feel more vulnerable and irritable. Focused on taking care of yourself and your health. This can include scheduling that downtime for your body to recoup, which counts as acupuncture and massage too. Those are good times to recoup because you're focusing on your body. But try not to overwork to burn yourself out, because then you'll just be tired and exhausted. So really, I can't emphasize enough for you taking that time. It's okay to tell others you're booked, even if you're just sitting on your couch reading a book or watching TV. That is you time. That is booked. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. Scorpio, over the next 4.5 months, passion between you and your partner can be higher. Now, there is also a need to be cautious, as this passion could lead to more arguments. So it can be passion on the good side and passion on the argument side. But it's going to be really important to put on your patience pants, give your partner grace if they make you mad. Don't have conversations when you're both angry, as they're not going to be productive. It can be a time where it can be beneficial to encourage your partner to take care of their health, but help them out by focusing on health with them. So don't just tell them they need to focus on their health and then you're sitting there eating Chick-fil-A or, fast food or whatever the case may be while they're trying to focus on their health. So help them out, figure out how to do things together, go for hikes, go for walks, figure it out. But also for you, Scorpio, business transactions can be completed quickly, but be sure you're paying attention to the details of any agreements or contracts being signed, and really read them and make sure you understand them. Don't get hung up on people who are slow or reluctant. They're only going to hold you back and keep you from getting results. Sagittarius, you are beginning a 4.5 month period where focusing on healing can be extremely beneficial and more effective for you. You can find that employees are getting the work completed that they need to get done. Really take the time to focus on yourself and invest in your own self-improvement. I do not recommend during this time taking extreme risks by doing high adrenaline activities. Know if you do that you can be more accident prone. This could include something, for example, like jumping out of a plane. Don't recommend doing it over the next 4.5 months. Other thing for you, Sagittarius, be sure to create a budget and stick to it, or you could find yourself racking up debt. In your budget, include some money for the unexpected. So just have it in there. Also know getting into arguments or fights with others will prove ineffective and they're not going to help you. So just don't. Just step away. Wait until you've calmed down to talk about it. As I said, take time, cool down, finish the conversation once you've had time to think through everything and both parties have calmed down. Capricorn, you are entering a 4.5 month period where it can be beneficial to show your passions. You're going to be feeling sharper and more on top of things. You could have investment opportunities that make you a quick profit. Check with your financial advisor for your personal insights. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor, so check with them first, but there is potential. Also check with your personal astrologer and see what's going on in your chart. Because again, all the charts are unique. But for you, Capricorn, if you have children, it can be a really great time to spend time with them, having fun and playing. Bring out your inner child. If you don't have children, bring out your inner child. You could, during this period, find yourself arguing with your partner. Don't let it get out of hand over petty things. So not the time to nitpick your partner, but really find time this month over the next 4.5 months, actually, to enjoy life and the life you have created for yourself, and celebrate the little things. We all forget to celebrate the little things. So celebrate those. Aquarius, this can be a 4.5 month period where you can have good luck with real estate. It can be a time to take out loans if required. You can find you have excess energy to accomplish goals and to-do lists. If you need a new car, this can be a good time to go ahead and make that purchase. As always, be sure to do your due diligence and don't make rash decisions. If it doesn't feel right to you, don't do it, because our intuition is our strongest gift. It's guiding us, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but it is. You can find, Aquarius, that your patience is tested around the home and it could feel more contentious over the next few months. So the other thing is use caution while driving. And if you have electrical issues within your house, don't delay in getting them fixed by a professional. Pisces, over the next 4.5 months, you can find your physical strength is greater. This can be a great time to show off your creative talents in writing, art, music, dance, drama, athletics, kind of that realm of things. It's a time where communication can be strong and very helpful for you. It's really, the one thing being said with communication is it's important to ensure that you do stay calm in your approach to communicating it if you get mad, because anger is not going to help you. It's just going to make things worse. So be sure to think before you speak. Use your mental filter to avoid saying things that you are later going to come to regret. I promise if you say them, you are going to come to regret them. So think them through, please, please, please. But you may find yourself going on short trips, and really take care of your hands, neck, and shoulders during this time. So maybe get a massage, get the muscles worked out, but really take care of them. Don't hunch while sitting at a chair. We all have that tendency, for those of us that work at a desk, to do that. But really keep an eye on that. As I mentioned, these are broad, high-level descriptions, and your personal experience may be different. But again, if you're curious what the specific impact is on you, really schedule your birth chart consultation or yearly update consultation if you've read with me before. If you haven't, you do need to do the birth chart consultation first before we do a yearly update. So elizabethweimiller.com/contact. I will put the link below this video. As always, I hope you have a fantastic November, and come back in December. And to make it easier, like and follow, or get the free newsletter, sign up below. So either way, you're doing one of these. You're either liking and following this channel, or you're signing up for the free newsletter below to get your information. And until next month, I hope everybody has a great November. For those of you in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. Really spend time with your family, but don't get into arguments with them, because that is a trend this month. So just take the time, step away. But if you're with family, no, maybe it's time to go for a quick little walk to calm down. But enjoy your Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys in December.